It's week 3 of the NFL, and our focus is on Dameon Pierce. He did something we never thought we'd see, a game with double-digit touchdowns. It's the Texans and the Jaguars. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Well, the Jaguars ready to go on offense for the first time, and they're led by the former #1 pick of the draft in his 3rd season now, Charles, Trevor Lawrence.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Hey, look at the defense for these Texans. They were excellent a week ago in that victory over the Colts.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game, right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There have been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Lawrence hit and the ball is free, and the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Well, this defense for the Texans, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover. That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the 2nd overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping it contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, look now at the 2023 draft class for the Texans, and people still talking about the move they made, trading up in the first round, becoming the third team ever to make 2 of the draft's first 3 selections.
And what a bold move they made, considering what they gave up, but for a team rebuilding.
And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Houston. 53 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Last week, of course, the great performance. Over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards. It says the very next.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So the watch is officially on now. That ties him with Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander for second place all-time on the single-season list of rushing touchdowns.
And partner, he now just sits one behind LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28. We know LT's watching. We know he'd hate to lose his record, but we also understand he has great admiration for what this man's done, and he would be a worthy successor to the crown. LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the great players, one of the great people of the NFL.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and that'll bring up second down. You look at the defense for these Texans. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Take those rankings.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Here's Pierce. Looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal. Stroud now on second down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. They'll start on the ground, Etienne, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 6-yard line.
Etienne once more. And the ball is knocked out, and the Texans scoop it. And it won't count for 6. He's brought down, but inside the 5, 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to ride.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit.
And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Stroud working out of the gun.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
The throw over the middle taken in. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Complete to Noah Brown.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Nice 3rd down conversion at even 20 yards.
Stroud off the play fake.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Texans are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Jaguars nothing. Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now Lawrence.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his 2nd drop right here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say only in the first quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
On the return, it's King. Ooh, the juke. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Texans to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
47 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Again, 11 on the play. First down, Texans.
1st and 10, it's Stroud.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. The numbers on the ground for Etienne last week. 24 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
On third down, Lawrence. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a fourth down.
On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Stroud. He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation.
It's a gain of 35.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
The throwing again is Stroud. Swings this one out wide for Pierce.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Dameon Pierce.
What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable.
And the Texans have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
Now Etienne to start the drive.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 for the 26.
Now Lawrence.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Texans will take over. Stroud now on 1st and 10.
Fighting through pressure. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Stroud looking to change the play.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to let it go again. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Take down, 77 yards. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Jaguars nothing. Fairbairn, the kickoff for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On 2nd down, here's Lawrence. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Desmond King picks it.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 9. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
106 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
First down, Texans.
Another carry for Pierce.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Dameon Pierce.
A 21-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans just continue to roll.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Things, unfortunately, continuing to implode here. The interception he threw on the previous drive, of course, led to the touchdown. And that deficit widening a little bit further. 1st and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up. 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line.
He'll look to ETN to start things out.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
On play action, Lawrence.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. Following the fumble recovery, Stroud. Touchdown! Dalton Schultz with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Texans extend their lead yet again.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good.
Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Now Lawrence to throw on second down.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Chase Young in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free.
And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
Now Lawrence on first down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Lawrence. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
William Jackson with a pick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles. But that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters. But in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
On first down, here's Stroud.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On second down, here's Pierce.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
158 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continued.
Sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine's.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Dameon Pierce.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans are pouring it on.
On for the PAT, Ka'imi Fairbairn. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Chase Young.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Here's King. Oh, he shifts past him. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Handoff right side to Pierce. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010.
Touchdown, Texans.
Take down.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Texans are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Jaguars nothing. Ka'imi Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Houston's offense taking over again. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout is going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
He's going to take another shot here. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Tank Dell on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Texans have got it on cruise control. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again.
And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Hassan Ridgeway in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Jonathan Allen. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And now out comes Houston.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Again on 2nd down, it's Stroud.
This is caught. It's Brown.
Still going. Inside the 20.
Touchdown. Noah Brown, 75 yards.
And the Texans just continue to roll.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Slot man moves right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
And 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Man open, here is Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
Lawrence will throw.
And that is incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And they will remain well behind.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it?
There he goes, right side.
Now inside the 25.
And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Boy, 227 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Dameon Pierce.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans extend their lead yet again.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
A give, it's Etienne off the option.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
The throw over the middle, taken in. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans are pouring it on. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's Lawrence. Lawrence hit and the ball is free. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Houston.
Dameon Pierce.
32 yards.
And the Texans have got it on cruise control.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown.
Dameon Pierce.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans just continue to roll.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Fairbairn at the kickoff for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Robert Woods, 72 yards. And the Texans extend their lead yet again.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out come the Jags. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
ETN up the middle.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Now Lawrence.
And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch taken here at the 5-yard line. Huh, interesting.
Robert Woods and the Texans back out there.
He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus.
Oh, wide open, complete to the 20. Touchdown, Texans. Takedown. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Texans are pouring it on.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Fairbairn at the kickoff for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Jaguars back with it on offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Lawrence.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top. Unsuccessful.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Inside the 20. Touchdown. Takedown. 72 yards.
And the Texans have got it on cruise control.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense.
And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle.
And he loses the football a second time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Draw play, ETN.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
Down the left sideline.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the 2nd quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least.
And now off to the races down the right side.
He's across midfield.
Inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Travis Etienne.
75 yards.
And the Jaguars are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
McManus's point after is good. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Desmond King to return it from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Forced out to his left. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Here's Stroud.
Flushed out right. 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
First down, Texans.
Stroud to throw it.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Noah Brown in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Texans would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Colts who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdowns there for Jonathan Taylor. From there, we'll stay in the AFC North and head over to Cleveland to check on the Browns. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Desmond Ridder has thrown a touchdown pass. Final preparations being made for the second half, both in terms of game plan and also hydration, because humidity is really going to catch up to these guys, no doubt. And for the call of the second half, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
King going to look to bring it out.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. the speedster Desmond King. And he will score. Touchdown, Texans.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And that will set him up in excellent shape. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. The pocket. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Here's Devin Singletary. He played in the state of Florida Atlantic. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans.
Devin Singletary with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your...
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Texans. Robert Woods with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On second down, here's Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. A man who has done this a lot, Justin Houston, in there to record the sack. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Hassan Ridgeway picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. On the return, it's King. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Stroud looking to throw.
Got a man. It's Brown. That goes for a gain of 31.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
They run here with Singletary. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Devin Singletary with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And the Texans just continue to roll.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now. But he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line.
Houston set to take over.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ready? Hey, check that.
Singletary to get the drive started. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Running the ball served them well all game long, and there's another example as they pick up a 1st down.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. He'll get the hook up there to Woods.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. It's a gain of 34.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go long and hope someone...
Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Texans extend their lead yet again. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Robert Quinn is the one who burst in there to blow that play up. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away.
Oh, it looks like one of the DBs has it.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. Another big play here as they strike for 31.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Devin Singletary, a dynamo since the break. 3 third-quarter touchdowns.
And the Texans are pouring it on.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Now Lawrence on 1st down.
And his throw is incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield.
And my goodness, another interception.
Jalen Petrie picks it off.
And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. And the Texans first down.
Stroud working out of the gun. That is caught by Dell. Touchdown, Texans. Take Dell, 30 yards. And the Texans take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnover.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
A third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. They juked him, and another juke. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
On first down, here's Stroud.
And that's caught inside the 35.
Inside the 10. Touchdown. Take down. 65 yards. And the Texans have got it on cruise control.
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt. I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville.
At the 20-yard line.
Lawrence will throw. Quick slant caught by Kirk. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down.
That's good for Jacksonville.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lawrence. And now here's another interception. Derek Stingley picks it down the left sideline. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
7-yard gain. That's good for Jaguars. 1st down.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Here's Lawrence. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Well, CD, we are witnessing something that I never thought that I would witness. I would imagine you never thought this too. I mean, we have a team taking the field in an NFL game, and they are up by triple digits. I mean, 50 is a lot, but to get to over 100, this is just crazy.
We've seen in the history of the game of basketball a few people score 100 points individually, men and women. but we've never seen this before in NFL history. We've only seen 2 teams combine for 100 points in a game 5 times in league history. One of the greatest games ever played, well, by one of the teams anyway. Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion.
And that's caught inside the 35. Robert Woods, touchdown, Texans. Robert Woods, 85 yards. And the Texans are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Robert Quinn drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And the Texans set to come onto the field.
We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this.
There he goes, right side.
Down the right sideline, inside the 20.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Devin Singletary, 73 yards. And the Texans continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
This time, the extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Lawrence on 3rd down.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. Hassan Ridgeway getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Stroud now on 1st and 10.
Airing it out deep for Woods. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. Robert Woods, 62 yards.
And the Texans just continue to roll.
This time the extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately,
and my goodness, another interception. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now here is another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it inside the 20.
And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
C.J. Stroud.
A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football and making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard at doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you...
And now off to the races down the right side.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a first down?
Yeah, they had put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps.
So here are the Texans to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
A nice little juke.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Here's Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Singletary.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
16 more on that one and another first down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
It's a gain of 32. And the Texans first down.
Stroud to throw it.
Over the middle, it's complete. Touchdown, Texans.
Take Dell.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans extend their lead yet again.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball.
And my goodness, another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it.
And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout. But you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
It fights him off, eluding the pressure. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
C.J. Stroud
taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Texans take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Fairbairn good with the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now here is another interception. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happened.
Touchdown! Takedown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Texans take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. They'll set up to run the quarterback draw. Lawrence hit and the ball is free.
And the Texans scoop it. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Dameon Pierce
from 17 yards out.
And the Texans are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. On play action, Lawrence. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Again, it's Lawrence.
And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And here comes the Texans now.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have...
It got his man complete. That one goes for 30 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
First and 10, it's Stroud.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Texans.
Takedown.
60 yards.
And the Texans are pouring it on.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It's 3rd and 7.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And he lost the football. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10.
This is caught. It's Woods.
How about this? Robert Woods.
Touchdown. Robert Woods. 84 yards.
And the Texans have got it on cruise control.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's ETN.
Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
Tackled there by Rayshon Jenkins.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
At the 34-yard line.
They go right back to Singletary. Oh, able to avoid him. And he winds up getting this all the way down to the Jags' 35-yard line. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
And the Texans 1st down.
Singletary, they'll go up the middle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. That one looks like he'll throw here.
Got his man, Dell.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
First down, Texans.
Play action. Stroud now. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Pierce.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive? And my goodness, another interception. William Jackson with a pick. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
But just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Now Lawrence to throw.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
18, 18, let's go.
On 1st down, here's Stroud.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Texans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
go.